This morning, I was only able to capture a small window into what was happening. Our family had other plans later in the day, and while we were invited to stay for the lunch which was being prepared, the umu that was being prepared, I wasn't there to document the cooking, the meal itself, or the hosting that followed. What I did capture was simply the preparation. And even though I only witnessed a small part of the morning, it left me reflecting on a number of things. For the past few nights, we've been staying here at my cousin's place in Tokomololo, and I'd spent some evenings with a group of men who were staying there too. They were a group who had travelled from Samoa for a construction job on another island in Tonga, but their ferry had been delayed, leaving them unexpectedly waiting in Tongatapu for another week. At around the same time, a tufunga tatau, Itahi Kava, a Samoan tufunga with Tongan heritage, had also arrived in Tonga. By coincidence, these men's period of waiting overlapped with the tattooing process, and over the course of the days that we had stayed there, I watched them assist in many different ways, helping with the stretching during the tatau session, preparing and serving kava, taking care of practical tasks, fulfilling ceremonial protocols, and simply being present and available to help. So when I picked up my camera this morning and saw these men preparing the umu, it felt less like an isolated event and more like an extension of something I had already been witnessing throughout the week. One thing that struck me was how much context matters. As a Tongan, seeing a group of men moving around with their shirts off is not something I commonly associate with Tonga. Even though we were on private property, and there is nothing inappropriate about being shirtless in that setting, it was still an unusual sight to me. But context changes how we understand what we're seeing. These were Samoan men who had been serving throughout the week, men who had become part of the rhythm of this household, and so rather than feeling strange, it simply felt like an expression of Fa Samoa, a reminder that people carry their own cultural ways of being into spaces they temporarily inhabit. Yeah. Yep.
He came already.
Yeah.
But I already got it. I know that it's really my support and my community. My head was in my morning. Oh, because I passed for the one. Pati chuwang? Poli kita?
Lupulu, eh?
No, we also bring another pakabapulu for your kids in at the house.
Kako pulu kata itu ke puaka.
This is the pork.
May puaka eh.
Ah, iya.
Da pema kung foi ala nga tago ko pulo eh.
Iya.
May pulo eh sa gi haka ife yo. Ai mawa gi haka i ke moho pa to alwa te lu ke.
Iya. Eh, for tatau.
Yeah, they all born in the same.
There were also these beautiful little moments of learning. One of the men explained to me the Samoan names for the different things they were working with. Tautua,
Yeah,
the banana leaf.
yeah. The banana leaf and also the pawpaw leaf
Ah, Tautua.
with the grapefruit to have over the when all the stuff get inside.
Yeah, you put it on top.
Stone and put it on top.
Keep the heat in.
Yeah.
They were small conversations, but they felt meaningful, and language became a bridge. What's this called in Samoan again? What's the name?
Tamu.
Tamu.
We call it this
It's
one
different kind of
Tamu
kamu.
Tonga.
That one is a kamu tong.
Tonga.
Kamu Tonga.
Yeah.
Ah,
The other is Tamu New Guinea.
New Guinea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tamu.
Our old people in Samoa, they like fish.
Oh yeah.
They maybe a little bit like the tautua, but
Yeah.
this one is
They like the cup.
yeah.
Tamu. And language became a bridge, not through formal teaching, but simply through people working alongside one another and sharing what they know.
We only just say Tau's brother.
Taro, yeah.
But it looks like a taro. Right?
Yeah. But a little bit. That tastes different, eh?
Yeah, it tastes different, but the faces look like.
Another thing that fascinated me was hearing Samoan spoken so naturally in Tonga. I'd been hearing it throughout the week, but seeing it accompany these everyday acts of cooking and preparation made me pause and wonder. Wednesday.
E alo I whapea ki ma kuru ki ma reo I whapea ki ma so. Koe longi mama ka ma kia pea ai le buto rei.
How often do we actually hear Samoan being spoken in Tonga like this? Maybe at formal events, maybe when delegations from Samoa visit, but at this kind of grassroots level, hearing Samoan spoken continuously among a group of men preparing an umu together felt different. It felt special. It reminded me that culture doesn't only move through ceremonies and institutions. It also moves through kitchens, through work, through waiting, through friendships, through shared spaces.
Some of the other kids and Tahila and Mika, these two girls behind you. Na whakarere na ki kalasi behind children's class, Moluka. Kamasia wani.
Oh no, not our hunchbacks. Oh. Good posture, good posture. On the camera.
Aulama.
Lama to make it very.
Ah, yeah, the dry coconut leaf. Ah, aulama.
We call it aulama.
What about the coconut husk?
Pulu.
Pulu, yeah, we call it pulu too. Pulu.
And the ipupopo.
Yeah, yeah, the cup of the.
We call it ipupopo.
Oh, we say ipuniu, I think.
New,
Yeah.
call it ipupopo.
Ah, okay.
Hawaiian.
Oh, iya, benar.
Yang lagu. Yeah, this one will be enough only for your palusan. Also, you want to mix it up?
Yeah, it's okay.
That morning, I found myself reflecting on a Samoan word that I had only really begun thinking deeply about recently. Tautua.
The sacred practice of ancient times in Tongan culture.
Any place you're gonna stay?
Yes, so
My understanding of the word was shaped largely through watching a documentary called Inked in Service, where Tautua was explored as service to family, to your community, to your church and people. I don't claim to fully understand the depth of that concept, but over the course of these past few days, I kept wondering whether what I was witnessing might be one small example of it. Tautua. One thing that stayed with me from that morning was a sense that everybody seemed to have a role. No one appeared idle. From the older men to the younger boys, everyone seemed to know where they were needed and simply got on with it. One person was cutting banana leaves, another was grating coconuts, someone else was shaving the talo, hot stones were being prepared for the umu, the lu was being wrapped, kava was being shared, conversations flowed, and so did the work. And what struck me the most was that this didn't seem to be organized through instructions or people directing one another, at least not from what I observed. It seemed to happen almost instinctively. People saw what needed doing and stepped into it. I remember noticing one particular image that stayed with me, one of the highest ranking men among the group. A chief was seated quietly, scraping the coconuts, his upper body bare, revealing his tatau, while his hands worked steadily alongside everyone else. There was something powerful about that image for me. Not because I fully understand the meanings embodied within the tatau, and not because I wanted to read too much into the single moment, but simply because from where I was standing, there was something moving about seeing someone of chiefly status engaged in such an ordinary act of service. It made me wonder whether this perhaps was another glimpse into what people speak about when they describe tautua. Not necessarily grand gestures, Not positions, not titles, but participating in whatever needs to be done for the well-being of others.
Listen, how many leaves? So this is all for the luau. How many?
Only 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah. Leaf, onion and coconut cream.
Yeah, that's the called pepe in Samoa.
So with the onion and everything and salt, so you just close, wrap up, finish.
Não, coisa fica de pepe, fica de
Finish.
Yeah.
And then the basket.
And it wasn't only the Samoan men. That morning my auntie and uncle had arrived. Without ceremony, they simply joined in.
Ia, ko ia. Dai whewhe nā o tatau niu. Oh, ia.
And the work became lighter because more people had come to carry it. And again I found myself reflecting on the rhythm of the morning. It felt less like people being assigned jobs and more like watching a group of people responding to a shared understanding. Everyone seemed to have something to contribute. Everyone seemed to know that guests would be arriving later that day. And everyone in their own way was helping to make sure they would be welcomed and fed.
Oh, for the rocks.
Maybe that's one of the things that I was most grateful to witness. Even though I can only capture a few hours of preparation, it offered a small glimpse into a way of being where hospitality isn't carried by a single host, but by an entire community of hands, each doing what they can.
Tai lava. Tai. Wait.
We do that last Sunday. We mix the pulu masi and the pepe.
But we usually do it, but then no meat and then we put coconut. Leave it for another day. So we know it's
Whawhetai mo loo ngā lulue. Does that make sense? No. Whawhetai mo loo whisosoa. Ngā lue.
Over the course of these past few days, I kept wondering whether what I was witnessing might be one small example of it. Watching young men assist with the stretching during the tatau sessions, preparing the kava, serving others, helping without needing to be asked. And even when I watched the tufunga the previous day, acknowledged the service of the men by offering to mark their bodies as a gesture of appreciation for their service. It was a further reminder of the significance of Tautua. There was a point in our discussions where the tufunga, the Itahi, described this idea where that when the drum beats, the people know the position to assume. It was almost as if these men shifted into a mode of Tautua.
Yeah, that's the female, that's it. Dedication to his mother.
And so the drums had begun beating, and they simply knew the formation. They knew the rhythm, they knew their movements. I don't know if that fully captures what Tautua is, but I found it to be a beautiful analogy. Because what I observed all week from the young boys to the older men was a kind of order, a quiet attentiveness, a readiness to respond. And maybe that's part of what this video is trying to describe. Not an explanation, not a lesson, just a small glimpse into a morning that left me reflecting on service, hospitality, language, and the unexpected ways culture meet, overlap, and enrich one another.